spicy.
Hello, fellow TV lovers. I am Matthew, and if you don't know where you're entering by now, we are about to pick apart one of the worst characters on TV, so if you love a spicy hot take and a spicy hot marg, then stick around and find out why this particular friend has been grinding our gears since 1994. I'm going to assume you all know the gist of Friends. I mean, it's literally just about 6 friends trying to navigate their crazy lives, and they drink coffee at a coffee shop a lot. And that's it. And this is certainly a hot take, but I'm convinced that Ross Geller is the worst. Since we're talking about Ross, I feel like it's only appropriate for me to be having a spicy margarita because of that one episode where he had a ton of margaritas and kept telling everyone he was okay, but he clearly wasn't.
Dude, are you okay?
Totally.
Ross always makes everything about him. Ross always somehow knows how to make a situation about himself, even when it has nothing to do with him. Like how he blames himself for his wife coming out as a lesbian when it has absolutely nothing to do with him. He blames himself for that. Ross. He always makes himself out to be the victim, that he was like brutally tricked by Carol, but there's no like master plan here. Like, she's a lesbian and she came out as a lesbian. That has nothing to do with you. Ross was always making very hurtful comments about how Carol is a lesbian, and yet he's always upset all the time, and Carol's always having to comfort him about the fact that she's a lesbian, and it's his fault. It's all his fault. It's not your fault. It is what it is, you know? Or in the finale, when he goes to the airport to try and convince Rachel not to go to Paris to follow her dreams to become a fashion designer and stay in New York, just because he wants to be with her in New York.
Don't go.
What?
Please stay with me. I am so in love with you. Please don't go.
True love, people. True love means you make sure that your partner is not following their dreams. He is manipulative, and he doesn't think of anyone else when he's making decisions. He just thinks about how it's going to affect him and how he can find a way to complain about it, because that's all he does. Ross is the worst. You heard it here first. He is plain problematic. He is problematic. Ross is problematic. Problematic is Ross. Ross is problematic. Ross as a character has very stereotypical views on masculinity. Sure, it was the 90s and you can get away with a lot more than you can get away with now, but he used to make a lot of homophobic jokes. He made a lot of rude comments about his ex-wife, Carol. He threw major shade at Freddie Prinze Jr. for being a male nanny and assumed he was gay because he was a male nanny.
I really do understand how hard it's got to be to leave your child with another person. I mean, it's like leaving behind a piece of your heart.
Sandy, that's exactly what it is.
Are you gay?
Ross!
What kind of job is that for a man? A nanny?
He freaked out when he found his son was playing with a Barbie instead of a G.I. Joe. And he spent an entire episode making his 2-year-old boy play with a G.I. Joe.
Guess who's here? It's the toughest guy in Toyland, Ben. Real American hero. I'm G.I. Joe. Drop the bar. Drop the bar.
As a joke, Ross photoshopped pornographic pictures of Chandler being gay and then posted them to their joint alumni website as a joke. He posted that to get back at Chandler because Chandler made a comment about how Ross sleeps with dinosaurs. That's not an even playing field.
Why would Ross tell everyone in your class that you are as gay as the day is long?
Because I told everyone he slept with dinosaurs.
You've really crossed the line here, but that's okay. It's okay, because I'm on my way to buy some Photoshop software and a stack of gay porn. That's right. Your coming out's about to get real graphic.
It's very disrespectful, in my opinion, to do that, because that's not one is obviously false and one could be true, and that's just an area people shouldn't go in. His stereotypical view on masculinity is ingrained in this character, and it's just problematic, and because of it, he's the worst. And because of it, I'm gonna drink, and he's the worst. His toxic jealousy. Ross is extremely jealous and incredibly possessive, and I mean, so is Rachel, which is why they're meant for each other, but at the same time, it's Ross was a little worse. His lack of trust with Rachel's colleague, Mark, is the whole reason why they went on a break. Ross would always show up to Rachel's work unannounced so he could spy on her, and he disguised it as giving her gifts so he could make sure that she was not fornicating with her colleague, Mark.
Wow, somebody wants people to know you have a boyfriend.
Rachel understandably gets upset with Ross for wanting to mark his territory by bringing all these gifts to the office. And when she initiates the conversation about maybe them taking some time apart.
Is this about Mark?
Oh my
Okay, it's not.
Oh my God! I cannot keep having the same fight over and over again, Ross. Oh, maybe we should just take a break.
Ross takes it so personally that he leaves and immediately sleeps with the first person he sees at the bar. And when Rachel confronts him about it, and literally every time after that, he says his iconic line, "We were on a break," when they weren't on a break.
We were on a break. We were on a break. We were on a break!
And he was 100% in the wrong. And he's the worst. My overall opinion of Friends is that it's highly overrated in my opinion. However, I understand that it was a lot of these iconic actors' start of their careers. So I understand that and the contribution to pop culture that this show has. It's not for me, I'm not a sitcom person, but it has made a cultural impact. My overall rating of Friends is a 4 out of 10. I am ready to make some enemies, so comment below. I recommend Friends to people who like sitcoms. If you like more of a story that has depth, this is not for you. But also, like, if you haven't watched Friends by now, I feel like you're not really missing anything. So. On a scale of subtle jerk to the absolute worst, Ross would have no friends in real life. To recap, Ross makes everything about himself, he's highly problematic, and he is extremely jealous. Therefore, Ross Geller is the worst. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and also comment. I want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget that Ross Geller is the worst.